Hey YouTube, we are back for another Saturday video. How you guys doing? It's so wonderful to hang out with you guys on these Saturday mornings. And as you know, we're going through, for those of you who have been with me all year long, you know that we're going through my book that was just released last October, Gel Plate Printing for Mixed Media Art. And we've been going chapter through chapter, and I've been expounding on the techniques that are already in the book step by step, and also doing other variations that didn't get into the book because I had to make some choices. So in going through I just love those prints in that drawer. Oh, love those prints. Let's see. Oh, good stuff. Those are gel prints on vellum paper. But anyway, so welcome to my studio. My name is Robin McClendon. I'm a mixed media artist. I do gel plate printing, mark making, book arts, and collage. Those are the main things we do here. I'm a sumi brush painter. That's kind of the overarching probably technique that will find its way into a lot of my work. So anyway, what we're going to do today is we've got ourselves up to chapter 15, I believe it is. Yeah, we just finished fragments. And before we go on, we've done a few weeks now, so I thought we would go back and catch up in our book a few more pages. That way it doesn't get too far away from us. And as we are continuing to work in our book is art series here, that's a companion to my book and this YouTube series. So when you're done, you all have the opportunity to have a your own art book that mirrors all the techniques and stuff that we've done in going through my book. So the few things I want to show you. So we have some pieces from previous pulls, and then the process that we did the last few weeks. And, you know, I'm always encouraging you guys to go back and integrate the papers and stuff that you've done earlier and the earlier techniques, and then, you know, use them as collage pieces throughout the book. So that's what we're going to do some of today. So today is going to be a lot of collaging. But one of the things that came up in the premiere chat last week was I was talking about cold wax, and one of the ways I've used cold wax here is that I've used it on a lot of these acrylic, you know, printed pages, because sometimes they can be sticky. And so, like, all of them aren't, but some pages, when the paint is thicker, it can be sticky. So one of the things we've done in the past is taken a cold wax. So you can either do Dorlands or you can do Gamblin. I use both of them interchangeably. Just depends on what I have, what I find at the store to keep my supplies going. But it's literally like, I've had this Dorlands for a good while now, and it's literally like Vaseline. It's very it's a wax, but it's very, you know, I would say like Vaseline, honestly. So what I do is, you can take anything. I'll take a paper towel, or you can take a a lint-free towel, and you just want to take a little bit on your rag, and then you literally just buff it in to the into the page. You're literally just buffing it in. Now, this over here was paper, so I don't need it. If I got some on there, it doesn't hurt it at all. And what the Dorlands will do, it not only creates a matte wax finish so that it won't be sticky, it also will just protect your pages too. So you can do these with prints that you've created that maybe you want to mount on to a wood board. Or maybe you want to have them as covers of books or whatever, and you just want to protect and put a coating on your print without, you know, making it stickier or glossy. And I've been using Dorland's for over 30 years now. I just love this cold wax process, and it's never let me down. So what you want to do is you just get a good coat on there. You can see I didn't use a lot. And then what I do is I'll let it dry, and just make sure you've really buffed it in really good. One of the ladies in the chat last week was saying, yes, like buffing your shoes. It is just like that. And you just let it set up. And then I normally will let it set for a little bit. And, it just allows it to set up. And then I'll come back with, let's get some more glue there. And then I'll come back with the cloth, and then I'll buff it really good. And that'll set it all in. And you get rid of that tacky surface. So if you've ever done books and what have you, maybe with your gel prints, and you come back to them sometime later and they're sticking together, like you go to pull the pages apart and you're hearing that pop, kind of poppy thing, and then like sometimes it'll stick or you'll tear stuff. That's just because it's just too sticky. Acrylic to acrylic just doesn't work the best in books. But if you do this, and we've done this on some of the earlier pages, like you'll find every page doesn't need it. It just depends on the technique and how much paint is laying there. Like I remember this was really sticky, and this is nice now. This was also. And see how they're not sticking at all. They're just turning beautifully. So it's a good thing to put on your prints. And if you're actually mounting onto cradle boards and stuff like that, you definitely can come back just with the cold wax, buff it, and you're good to go. It'll protect it. It also helps with light fastness, and it makes it, water resistant, moisture resistant. Yeah, so I wanted to show that again because that came up in our talk, and I thought it was important to go over that again because I'm sure other people could have that same question. Alrighty, so now let's see. I have a couple of things. So we have our stencils using the stamp pads. We have our photo collage, or grunge photo transfers using the stamp pads. And we have our fragments that we did. And so these are what we started. Those are the fragments and stuff. And then I just pulled this piece because this was a piece that we did in earlier months that was a part of the photocopy thing that we did back here. We were doing this. Glazing, taking photos from magazines and things like that and doing a glazing on it. It's a part of the glazing technique. So that was one that I printed on calligraphy paper, and then I sort of mommy-gommied it. I thought that could be nice to work with. And then these are some prints that I pulled when I was cleaning my plate off, just using some of the gold paint. I really liked some of that, so I may figure out how I want to work those in. But like I feel like these are harmonious. They work well together. Like I could definitely put, like, say, those down, the photo transfer. But I really think that I'm gonna put the photo transfer on its own page because I don't really want it to look. I still want it to sort of have a really art vibe to it. So maybe let's see what we have in terms of these. And I had some that I just did on sort of regular copy paper. For these, I was testing the inks to see what I got. May not use those, but I think I want to definitely want to use these, but I need to figure out how I want to collage them. want to collage those. And then this would be a part of, thinking this will go with the, with our fragments. And maybe this one I'll take in a completely different direction with maybe some of this black, and then sort of tear her out and, I don't know, maybe superimpose it some sort of way, kind of off the page. May even, I don't know. But what we're going to do is get this so you can see where I'm going. I have a few of these to do. But let's work on, I want to figure out what I want to do here. Do I just want to kind of collage the three of these in this sort of staggered pattern? Decisions. Really don't know how I want to do these. I want it to be representational, but I don't want it to be, what don't I want? Let's see. Let's look back here for some inspiration. See how I did these? I kind of blended. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let's go back and look for some more papers, because that could be good. I know I have some more of, you're doing collage, you just have to have enough papers to be able to be inspired. I kind of want to keep with this color palette. I know I have, so maybe some of this, have this bronzy color there in that pattern. This one could be nice too. Tell you, this is a part of it. Now this is one I did earlier. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, that could be good with it, like that. And then let's see, I have these yellow ones here. Let's pull this out. Okay. Let's see if that's giving me something more to work with. So I'm always creating these collages real time with you guys. So in all fairness to the process, so you can kind of see what I go through. It's not just about having it all figured out before I turn the camera on, because then all I'm doing is showing you what I've already figured out. I'm not like going through the process of figuring it out, and I think that has its advantages. Oh yeah, I like how we're getting the mirroring of this. Oh, maybe even this overlap like that. Okay, where's this other one? Maybe the one that's got a lot more texture to it, like this one. Really liked how textural it was. So maybe something like that. And then this piece can overlap a bit. And then this will overlap some. Also. And then definitely this more yellow color printing. Okay, I think that'll do it. So this will find its way. Okay, so let's start off by putting this down. Let me get my glue sticks. I think I'm going to just put the whole thing down, you know, even that space, that's going to get covered. So let's just glue the whole sheet up. Yeah, definitely go back and pull from our earlier prints. That's why we have all those extra ones. And it really makes the book more interesting. And even though we're highlighting one technique, it's like we're still using all the other techniques a la carte, like I talk about. Like, so we're just getting, which is how I designed the book to be used. So it's not like one technique, one and done. Okay, you do this, you do this, you do that. It's like they build on each other. And those of you who've been hanging out with me, you've heard me say that a lot. Maybe people who are new to this. You know, I hope you hang in here with me and enjoy the process. If you've never jelly printed, I have loads of videos on this channel on all steps and all, you know, aspects of jelly printing. You can always just go to the search bar on my channel and search for a technique, and generally, you know, you have a number of suggestions that will pop up and help you sort of navigate through this if you're new to it. If you're new to it, welcome. Welcome to my channel and welcome to gel printing. So we'll get this down so we don't want to get it so that okay. Sorry, got something over here that's just clicking away. Let's get this nice and smooth. You can also use foam folder or a catalyst tool, whatever you may already have. Right, I like that. That's good. And I'm going to go ahead and bridge the gap because this page doesn't, you know, you can see here these pages are tight. It's not one of our open signatures, so this paper is so thin as opposed to trying to tear it and all that. It's just best to go ahead and glue it, and then we'll work right on top of it. Okay, so far so good. Let's go ahead and get this. I'm gonna rip this really close to the pattern. Okay, this is our tissue paper. This isn't wet strength. This is just the archival tissue paper. And for those of you who may be new or you're trying, you know, you're trying to find the supplies that I use, generally if I'm using any new supply or anything specific to this video, I link it right underneath the video in the description area. Like it'll be among the first few. And then there's also a link for my Amazon shop. And over on Amazon, you'll find just about everything I use. And there's categories. There's categories like jelly printing or intuitive scripting or book binding. You know, like there'll be the different categories there. Let's see. That's a little short, but I don't want this pattern here, so I'm going to still take that bit off. And then I'm going to figure, maybe what I'll do is I'll line this up at the bottom. And then there'll be a space at the top, but I'm also going to be putting some of that scripting there, so I should be okay. And I like using the tissue paper because we're going to see you know, you'll just see all the layers through here, which is nice. And I think this one is going to go down as well. Let me just go ahead and rip this. So this is kind of like archival tissue paper. And like I said, it'll be on my Amazon shop. Now, I do the Amazon shop because I tell you, it's just so easy. It's just uber easy to list things there. And most times Amazon has, you know, the supplies in. And as we know, it's only a day or two's journey to you. But I'm not, you know, I do that there too because for those of you who may not have Amazon or, you know, that kind of thing, at least it shows you a physical photo and description of the supply. So then you can find it at your local art store. So just so you know, I'm not suggesting that you've got to buy everything on Amazon or that you have to support my channel that way. Although when you do purchase, I do get a small affiliate thing. I mean, really, honestly, for as much as I sell, it's like a couple $100 a month. So it's not like it's raging money, but it does pay a couple of things like my website or my ConvertKit that runs my email list so I can stay in touch with people. So, you know, it's all a part of business, right? Okay, so what I think I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and put this piece down. Let's go ahead and glue it up. Because it's the tissue, I'm just going to use the Prit, and I'm not going to use the Giotto. We don't really need it. But certainly, when you go and look at the product, you can definitely do screen captures and then, you know, source it locally. All right, my battery chose to die right when I was gluing that down, so I just wanted to glue that down before I changed it, because otherwise that wouldn't have been good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to put this piece down there. I'm really loving the repeat of the grid, and I sort of flipped them too. But let's go ahead and pull this too, because I want to use this. Let's go ahead and rip this. I'll put that there. Oh, that's pretty. That can go there. And then I can do, see, I don't want to do a similar thing across the top because then it's like too opposite. So I like that down there. So that means I'm going to find something else that has drama to it for, oh wait, I can go back to, I think I'm going to use this gold on, I wanted to use this on the other one. I think I want to put that over there. It's always decisions. I'm doing this grid thing, as you can see. So this collaging with a grid collage, but I need to put something there, and I'm not sure what I want to put there. Oh, let me see. These are some from the No. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this down because I know I want to use this. I know I want to do this, and I know I want to put that other bit on the bottom. Let me just. We'll find something from one of our other sessions. I would really like something that's uber transparent. I don't know if I have that. And I don't know. I need to really contemplate what I'm going to put there. Might have to employ my 80% rule, which is a rough estimate of almost finished. So I say 80% because almost done. You could be 90%, you could be 95, you can be 85, you can be 75. But the point of the 80% rule, it just signifies that you're almost done. You just have something left that you're trying to figure out. And so what I do is I stop, I rest, I just come back to it maybe the next day. Maybe in a few hours, and I just let it rest. And then that way you don't kind of go off and make some weird mistake because you're trying to rush to get it all done. And then, love this. I think I'm going to have that go over into there. So let's just go ahead and rip this. So it's always good. Oh, well, that's interesting because this is the front side, which is more yellow. I was kind of liking this side. Well, let's just see. That's hilarious because I think this side is just a little too yellow. Yep, it is. We're going to use the back side of it. I love this side of it. Love that. So we'll put this down into there. Brilliant. That's good. So, yeah, so it's a good idea just to, just kind of getting a little more of a raggedy edge here on this. It's a good idea to stop and look around, decide where you want to go next with it. That way you're less likely to do something that you don't like. This is on tissue paper as well. So you can see it's so thin that I'm still getting color and print on the backside, but I really liked the backside coloration for this particular collage. So that's what makes it cool too. So I'll put this down here. Oh, I love that. Let's get this on here. It's a little straighter though. This paper stretches, so you can think it's starting to go down right, and then all of a sudden you can see that it's not. When I go into the creases, I make sure that I use my bone folder and I really just crease in there so that when the page opens and closes, I don't have to worry about any ripping or it sort of being that funny bridge where it glued down and it wasn't enough room here. So just take your bone folder and go in there like that. Okay, so I'm really loving this. Oh, this is all really good together. Love that. So I think what I'm going to do is, before I actually finish this video with you all, I am going to do my 80% rule. I'm going to take a couple of hours or maybe even the next day, and I'll come back and I'll finish this because I really want to consider with what I want to do here. And I don't want it to be, I wanted to have interest. I wanted to add interest to what we're doing here. And I don't really want it to be, for lack of a better word, sort of scripted, where it just would be like so obvious. I need to just go through my papers and see what I have. I'm almost maybe feeling like even some fabric up there or something like that could be really cool. I have some of this paper here that we stamped. It's not wide enough, but the colors are pretty cool. But it's just, it's not anything exciting. I want something that's going to really pop. And yet, I wanted it to pop and still be not so predictable. So I tell you what, for me, it's going to be a few hours. For you, it's just going to be a few seconds. Okay, so it's the next day for me, but only a couple seconds for you guys. I figured out what I wanted to do. So I've been working on this batch of brushed painting mono prints on the gel plate using this vintagey looking paper. We've been doing this over in Patreon, focusing a lot on collage, using the gel plate to create all kinds of papers and images and then working them back into collages and, of course, books. So I pulled this pile out and I'm like, okay, I think this is perfect for this. I love it. I feel like it just gives me the right kind of focus. So the arty focus, it counterbalances this without being the same type of scripting or the same color. The variation in the paper and the look of it, I think is perfect for the color palette here. So I'm going to go with that. That makes me happy. And I love doing these anyway. And those are going into some of our collages that we're working on. So I pulled some of this craft paper out of these pads. The pad's called Writer's Block. And this is sort of this brown onion skin type of paper. And I just thought that worked nicely up in there. I think I'm going to put it all the way across because I think I like the sort of the brown background versus the white showing through. So what I need to do is get sort of make, get the right height going here. And then I'm going to tear that. Okay. And then I'm going to crinkle it. I don't want that smooth texture. Let's get another sheet. Let's do the same thing. Get the same basic height. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So Mommy got me this to get some crinkling going for sure. We'll glue these down and then we'll put this down. And I just think that all works together so nicely. Love it. It's always stopping. And it's funny, after I stopped the video yesterday, I came to this pretty quickly after starting the video, stopping it. So, it's like always that time to give yourself permission just to stop. And you say, okay, I'm stopping. And I'm not going to think about it. I've given myself permission to not do anymore. And I think, I tell you, every time that happens, it's amazing how the solution comes. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this on here. Love this spread. And I love that we're creating this art book versus a journal, sort of air quotes. I think I'm going to keep that bit there, though. I like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I like that little quirky sort of off-center thing going on there. Okay. Oh, that's not good. It's too It's not up far enough. Turn it like this so I can see it. Let's get a little more glue on here. Get some glue underneath here. Hopefully I'm not too far off screen here, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing at this top area. Okay. There. Much better. Okay. So let's get this piece down. Let me just put some glue here. And then down. Okay. I'm going to turn it again because I want to make sure I see the top of this good. Okay, good. Because I'm not going to put this right up at the top. I'm kind of drop it down a little bit. So let's... This over here. Oh, it's so much better. Nice. It's not sticky. Okay. So, kind of put it like that maybe. I don't want it down too far. Kind of want it at the top, but maybe like that. I think that's pretty good. Just it's a little fraction away from the top. So let's go ahead and get some glue on this. I'm using the Prit because here again I'm using very thin paper, so I don't need the Giotto. This paper right here I'm using is like, it's like an onion skin paper. And so it has, you know, a bit of translucency like onion skin. It's very crinkly and very tactile. It takes the inks and the printings really beautifully. But at the same time, it's pretty strong. Alrighty. Here we go. So what I love about this is you can still see the print below. So see how through here you can sort of see where the line of the print continues, because this is translucent. And the way I've done this, it's a very thin glaze layer of acrylic on the plate, and it's a translucent kind of paint. So it's not really a thick layer on top of this paper. So it really allows the beauty of the paper to come through, and at the same time, you know, we can see what's below it, and oh, I love that. Yes, this is good. Alrighty, well, we're done. So like sometimes, like I said, take that breather. You might find, you know, allow yourself a few hours or overnight to come back to your work, and generally it, you know, like a piece will pop off your table, or you open a box and there's a perfect thing in there. However you know, keep your pieces, it always will present itself. So I think that's everything. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me. If you're new to the channel, thanks for hanging around to the end. Hope you enjoyed what you saw, and you'll come back. So hit that bell, hit all, and then that way you get my notifications every Saturday, 7 o'clock Pacific time. The videos go live, and we hang out over in the Premiere, which is just a chat feature. You can just chat it up. And people from all over the world are in there. So you may find someone that lives right down the street from you or in your own community. That happens all the time in the group. So it's a nice way to stay connected with other artists and get to know other artists that love the same kind of work that you love, because we just chat it up. Everybody sort of chats it up and says hi to everyone. It's almost like we're just these Premiere friends, and many people have gone on to meet each other in workshops, and coffee shops, connecting, with each other. So it's really cool. So make sure you hit that button. And also, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumb up. And that tells YouTube that you liked it and you're willing to send it out. They'll send it out to other people. And that's how our community grows. So that's everything. You guys have an amazing week and have lots of fun in your studio. And until next week, happy creating. Love you guys. Bye-bye.